I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was ordained with the hip hop culture from my older cousins and my sister, my older sister. She was a big like Bad Boy fan, and then my older cousins, you know, the dudes, they was loving like the mixtapes and the underground stuff. Hearing it in the city, hearing it in the town, and it was just so. It was just a normal thing with the life. But what really kicked it off was towards middle school and junior high school is when a lot of my friends, you start growing up, puberty hitting, like your interest starts changing. Like it's not just like, oh, just want to watch cartoons and play games all day. It's like, oh, I'm noticing the girl from the class a little bit more. And in sports and things of that nature. So I'm short and I suck at sports. So I was always good as a wordsmith. I noticed me and my friends started having a distance. So the closest thing I was like, yeah, I would just start freestyling at lunch, and then I started finding a passion for it. And that's how like I started getting into rapping. But as far as like just my origin story with Brooklyn, New York, is just being a kid from Coney Island, Graves and Projects, and then moving to Glenwood Projects and Flatbush and Canarsie. Wanting to, just finding your identity as a young man. I could say as a young black man, but it's really broad. Like we as just men, we all trying to find ourselves. And I've dabbled in things that I'm not proud of just because I thought it was cool and just wanted to be accepted and just wanted street cred, whatever that is. Now you understand that's a facade and everything. But I did bond with a lot of real people and real genuine people, and that camaraderie and with the community and that love in hip hop music, that's what shaped and molded me to this very day. So my music influences they range from a variety of different genres, right? So primarily it does deal with like hip hop and R&B. So like Maxwell is one of a big musical inspiration just because of like just the soul and aesthetic and just how captivating. Like man has an angelic voice, you feel me? I think Lauryn Hill, just the perfect blend and mesh of hip hop, R&B, poetry. I would also, Jay-Z is like, and then when you think about what he's done and transcended from just hip hop into the business realm and everything of that sort. I started appreciating Tupac as I got older. I find like the Tupac and the Biggie is like the conversation is the same as the Prince and Michael Jackson. As much as I'm more of a music sonic fan of perhaps like Michael and Big than I am probably like Tupac and Prince, I understand the character and the individual is what's more impactful and how more interesting like they are culturally and impactfully for the world. And that's other names right there. Michael, Prince, Prince also comes from just the school of independence and ownership. Being one of those artists like early on that we knew on a mainstream level, because there were a couple artists like in the Motown scene who did understand independence and ownership of self, but it wasn't something that was, primarily highlighted and spotlighted until you got to the point where you see like Prince writing like, slave and stuff, or like all on the head, and being called an artist is, yeah. Those are inspirations, and for various pockets, not just sonically, but character-wise from what was portrayed, because I really don't know these people, so people could be lying. But from what was put out there, and from what I got to see, yeah, business-wise. The way I would describe my musical sound to anyone would be a purist standpoint, and a purist standpoint that is experimental as well, because I'm willing to try new things, but the purist comes from, it has to be pure within self, right, and anything that I put out. And when I say purist, I'm a New York MC, so like you'll definitely hear some boom bap, some soul. Doesn't mean you won't hear like some different cadences and things tried out, because I'm also a fan of the culture, but it has to feel right. That's the same thing like for collaborations with me. When people ask, it's not really like a dollar amount you can put in anything. It has to feel right, because if it don't feel right, then it ain't real, right? I low-key would love to just cheat and say, I would love for them to listen to a body of work to get a real grasp. I know we live in a popcorn microwave era, but if they could, I would ask them to listen to my project, Slim and Mickens, which was produced by a good brother of mine. His name is Chuck Lauryn, and that was the album that was inspired off hip hop, soul, 1970s black exploitation era, and it deals with a lot of soulful samples. And the reason I say that because there's certain records that have many parts of myself and my essence within it, like the song I have called "Dreams on My Back." Right, the chorus is, I hustle with my dreams on my back, always on the grind, so the team's on the map. And as simplistic as that might sound, is the fact that everything I do is to make sure that everyone that I care about can be put in a position to have financial wealth, financial stability. I bear that. That's why I had grades since I was 16. So like I've always welcomed the pressure of just wanting to make sure my people are good. And also anyone who has dreams and aspirations just for the creative community. So the team is the music team, the artist team, the team is the community. And then you have a song called Knowledge of the Drip, where it's like a fun, soulful, bouncy record, but there's things where I'm talking about within that record. One of my cousins who's been locked up for 23 years, and how I wanted him to continue to maintain that glow and that light that we always knew he had. And so many people who've been locked down and impoverished in certain situations, just, again, it goes back to that caring of everyone and want everybody to be inspired and maintain who they are, which is dope. Yo, it's Frank Knight, again, also known as Frank Nissa, and you are checking out 24/7 HH.